Okay, I think I'm live. Am I live? Yay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Templeboy Turnings. I'm Steve, just in case you didn't know that. I'm just going to get the chat up. I'm just going to get my chat. Yes, I can hear you, Leona. Thank you. Okay. Having slight technical issues. Can you hear me now? So, can everybody tell me if there's sound on the live chat, please? On the video. Just want to make sure that we're all rocking and rolling. Yes, I do have sound. Apparently. Cool. Alrighty. Brew is cold tonight, I tell you. Got my heater on, but it's okay. I should turn. Do you want me? What? That's probably. You can turn those off. Okay. Okay. So I think we're good. Now we're just having a few technical issues with Leona's end. She had things muted and subtitles, and apparently I was saying sex a lot in the subtitles. Oh well, what are you going to do? So yeah, let me see if I can. Okay, can you hear me on the chat now, Leona? Right, good. So who have we got? There is a delay. Just having me coffee. It's quite cold. We shall change cameras over now and show you what we're doing. Pew. Oh, I thought I was muted. Okay. Right then. So this is what we're doing. I put some pictures up. So, oh, here we go. So I made this puzzle ball last night. This was the second attempt I made. I'll show you the first one. Didn't go, didn't go so well. It kind of exploded. Well, it didn't explode. It shifted in the chuck that I had. I'll show you in a second. The jam chuck, and it went a bit wrong. That was first attempt. This is second attempt. It's a puzzle ball, and what we're going to be doing this evening, if I can find where me see, I made, there we go. Inside, we're going to have a box. Now, I haven't finished this box yet. It's just a cylinder, finished on both ends. Now, the thing I didn't think about when I made this because when I cut the lid off, which is going to be about down here, there's going to be a slight gap. So when we put the lid back together, it's going to change the length of this, which is going to change the length inside the board. But that's okay. I've got a wee block here that I'm going to make a ring and make up the difference and glue it on, and then it will have a bit of a featured ring on the box, which will be even better. So we're going to do that. We're going to finish the box this evening for this, and then we're going to use this piece of beech that I have here, if we have time, and we're going to make a stand. Now I've got an idea for a stand for it, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know me, when I do lives, it's always a little bit hit and miss. So that's the box, that's the sphere. It is something that Rob Summerlin challenged me to do. Ruby Claire makes these. She made one out of like a fake ivory resin, I think. And Rob said, try making one of them then. So I did. And I was successful last night. I was quite happy with it. So I'm going to put the main sphere over here. And we're going to work on this box. Now, before I do get started, I had a few people on TikTok and on... I'm on TikTok, by the way, just in case I didn't tell you that. Let me put you on the me camera. Hello, I'm back again. So I had a few people asking me how I hold this sphere while I'm working on it. And it's quite simply, I've got a piece of construction timber. This is a bit of spruce, just a bit of, I think it was a fence post actually. Crappy wood is the best wood because it's soft. And I just made a cup and I put a hole in the side. And what you do is you'll have your live center, you pull it up to the sphere, you pop it into, let me put the pot in so it's a complete sphere, otherwise it's not going to hold it. You put your sphere into your jam chuck, and that's all it is a jam chuck. Push it in, and then the friction of that holds that. I can't pull that out now. I have to go in the back here in my thumb hole, and I have to push it out, and it's solid, holds it solid, and you can work on all six points of the sphere, and it's really accurate. This was a brilliant addition to my arsenal. If you have any questions this evening, please feel free to ask. The only thing I will say is that I am completely new to this form of turning. I mean, I've done spheres inside a sphere before, but I've never made one of these. So I'll answer how I do it. I've not watched anybody make one. I didn't watch a video on how Ruby, I'm not even sure if there's a video out there of Ruby making one. Maybe there is. But I didn't watch anyone do it. I kind of messed about with it last night and worked it out myself. So yes, let's do this. Change the camera again. I'm presuming that Leona is still there. She's gone very quiet in the ear roll. I'm going to pop this in here. And now what I'm doing, I'm just going to hold it by this piece. This was a cylinder that I put through and into both ends. I didn't bother putting a cylinder right through I think that's Paduke, I'm not sure. Anyway, and this is U. Oh, I can hear me talking now. Cool. What a sexy voice I have. I'm just going to tighten that up there on the inside part of the chuck, in the smaller part, and I'm just holding it there in the chuck, just nicking it. I don't want to damage a Roco even. Sorry. What did I say? Oh, I said Paduke. Yeah. It's not Paduke, it's a Oroco. I'm going loco down in the Oroco. Okay, and we're going to start off by trying to form some kind of lid on this. Now, if I mess this up, there will be swearage. I'm just saying. Yeah. Zoom in on this. Move it along a bit. I've got a new camera set up here, so you'll have to bear with me while I play. While I play. Very unprofessional. I think that will. I think that will do. You can see. I can move the other camera anyway when we're doing it. I'm going to pop this down here. This, and you can watch my thighs as I'm jigging. Right, let's do this. I'm going to use my thin parting tool. Oh, actually no. I might just go the thickness of my big parting tool, and then I know the thickness I need to work with my extra ring that I add on. Right, I'm going to come down around about here, and I'm just going to cut the top off. I'm going to make a bit of a tenon on my lid first. Let's do this. The reason why I'm not coming right up top is because I've got this getting slightly bigger as it comes to the top, so it pushes tight into the sphere and it has a bit of resistance. So cut it about nervous. Just deciding how thick I want the walls. A little bit more. I think that's enough. That will do. That's all I'm going to do. And now I'm going to cut that down the middle with my thin parting tool. Got a new tool rack as well, by the way, folks. I shall show you that a bit later. And now I'm going to just chop this down here, down the middle. Like that. Damn it. Oh, that's all right. Whew. Whew. I thought I'd messed up there for a second, but that's where I cut for the tube inside. I've still got a tenon for my lid. Oh, I had a moment there, folks. I tell you, I'm not going to lie. Yes, Paul. I do have a new setup. I do have a new setup. I've got a new shed, a new lathe. I'm going to put this down slightly because I'm going to add my ring on there, just like that. All right, now I can hollow. Oh, I had a moment there. I tell you, my heart went. I thought I'd messed it up, but we're all good. Now we're going to hollow this. Move this camera over here. Like this. Spin this. Like this. And this. Like this. That like that. And let's see. Anna, that's okay, because to be honest with you, it was a bit baffling to me. I will, once I've done this one, I will quite possibly do another one, and I'll do a live on how I do the sphere. I didn't even think to record it, to be honest with you, when I did it, because I was so fixed on it. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this camera so that so you can see what I'm doing. A lot of camera moving. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's see if I can get a bit of light on it for you. Probably better without it, to be honest with you. That'll be fine. That's technical term. Right. I'm going to use my skew. Just go straight in here. Anna. Hi, Nick. So that's Nick Valenza. He is on TikTok. I've been watching his lives and stuff. Thanks for coming over. Yes. So basically, Nick, I'll just say it quickly. Where the lid goes into the pot or into the sphere, I've just flared it out, just very, very, very slight. I've got to clean the inside of that. Don't pay me into that. But I just flared this out just very slightly. So when it goes in nice and tight, just like that. And then you cut the rings on the outside, you wouldn't even know it's separate. So yeah, just flare up the lid, kind of taper it, and as you're making it, it's trial and error. Just take a swig of the coffee because it's getting cold very quick in here. Excuse me. And that's how you do that. Nice friction fit. You don't want it too solid because it's a sphere, you can't hold on to anything to. You know what? I'm going to use my little 1/4" screw, put in there a lot better to hollow that. And this is just like a little novelty box to put your secret stash in there. I suppose you could roll a few 50s off and put them in there. Like I said, I will do a full sphere maybe for the next live. Maybe next week we'll do that, just so that we can see how my process of doing it. This little 1/4" skew is really cool for hollowing out. before I go any deeper, I'm just going to set my caliper so I know how deep I've got to go. I don't want to bust through the other side now, do I? Now, do I? I'll go to about... just go to there. It's not a super deep lidded box, but it's a box all the same. Now we're just breaking through the other side where I put the... That's why I didn't put a solid piece through the centre of this, because I knew it was going to be hollowing it out. It would have been just a waste. See if I can get some light on the situation for you folks. Very dark. I'm still working on my lighting. It's all new. Use my tail stuck. That's what I do. It's a little bit down. It's a bit better. It shouldn't take long to fix this, finish this little box. The only tricky part is putting the little ring on it and getting it to the right length so it matches back up again in the sphere. But you should be able to work that. Cool. It's there. Pin at the bottom. So those of you that are new to my live, the reason why I can get the comments relayed to me is that I have a young lady, a very good friend of mine, Leona, is in my ears, and she relays any questions and things that you have. So don't be shy if you think that I look busy. I am, but it's not. I'm not looking at the chat at all. I rely on Leona to relay any questions and comments. So feel free to ask any questions that you might have, and I will answer them best I can. And I will say that any technique that I do, any technique that I do tell you is my own technique. Night night, Anna. Thank you very much for popping in. I hope you're well. Right, we're almost there. Just a tiny little clean up and we're good. That's our depth, which is there. And now I should be able to get my flat scraper in there. Now I'll show you this scraper. This is a scraper I've modded myself. This scraper is, I got the idea off of Sam Angelo. It's just a flat scraper, 90 degrees on the end, and I've got quite an acute bevel there, but I've also got a bevel that I've ground on this edge. It's a bit rough there, but it's the top edge that we have to worry about. So all of this length here is a cutting blade. So when I go into a box, I can clean up using this edge and the top edge, so I can get a nice 90-degree cut at the bottom. Now you do have to make sure that you're centre with this, because it can be a little bit aggressive. So I'm just going to go in, clean the bottom up, and then make sure that my sides are at 90 degrees. That's perfectly 90 degrees there. And we should clean it up. Okay. Nice and gently in there. Pick up the cutting edge. You can feel it cutting. I'm doing this blind. And just bring it in. And what I do is I just twist the tool just slightly. See the dust there? Shaves a nice little bit of dust. I just twist the tool slightly so that the side cutter is at a slight angle and it's just scraping nicely. And once I've got the side done, I go down low with the front cutter and raise the tool, and it cleans the centre nicely. Just like that. Now that should be a nice flat base and a 90 degree wall. Yep. Just got to get in the very, 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 very corner. I didn't quite go down far enough with me. I'm happy with that. Okay, that's cool. So we're hollowed out now. We should be at the depth that we need. Yes, perfect depth. Do a little bit of a sandy sand, not too worried about super sanding it inside. Super sand. Put this out of the way. Put this out of the way. Yes, yes. So yeah, so it's at 90 degrees. Now you can, when I was listening to Sam Angelo, you can bring this wing back a little bit, so it's not, so it's less than 90 degrees. So this corner comes in, but then you've got to twist the tool and mess about with it. So I like it at 90 degrees, so I know exactly where I am once I'm going into a box, because you can go quite deep with this. You can see the marks that I've got where I've put depth marks on it when I've done other hollowing. So there we go. I'm just going to do a quick sandy sand inside there. Bring the speed down, don't want to get too warm. I can just about get my finger in there, which is cool. Not too much pressure. I don't want to shift it in the chuck now. I have to try and recenter it, because I have got to add that ring on the outside now. I'm not sure if you understand what I mean by the ring. Obviously, because I cut the box in theory in half, I know it's not in half, I cut the lid off of it, that material that I've removed has now gone. So when I go putting the lid back on this, man, fingers fine in there. What was I saying? Yeah, I've got to make up that width of the parting tool basically, and put a ring on there. And I'm going to use a slightly darker colour wood. It looks like there's not much room in there, but there is a good bit of room in there for my finger to get out. What I'm going to do now is, to get to the very bottom, is I'm going to fold the paper just like that, and then I'm going to lift it. No, Nick, it doesn't burnish at all. It's the two cutting edges. So you can twist the tool. It's hard to explain. See. So when you're using this scraper, in theory you're not really using both cutters at the same time, because what I'll do is, let's say you are the box, I'll push the tool in and I will angle and I'll clean the sides with this edge. And because I've twisted it, I'm bringing it this way slightly, this corner goes in right into the corner, and as I clean that very edge, I know that I'm at 90, because this will just touch. And because this is higher now, the center point is here, it's not cutting. And then what I'll do is I'll bring this down, I'll raise the handle to below center, and I will bring the cutter up and across slightly in this kind of movement, and it cleans the center away nicely. It's a really nice tool to use. It's hard to explain, but if you make yourself one, you'll understand. So this is what I've done with this sandpaper. I've folded up the very end, and what I'm going to do now is, when I put my finger against it, it concaves it like that as it goes in. So I could put it in first, then I put my finger in so it doesn't wrap around my finger, and then I can sand the very bottom. This is about the minimum that you want to put your finger into. Any smaller than this and you'll be asking for trouble. Obviously depending on the size of your fingers. Now this is 100 grit sandpaper, and to be honest with you, that's all I'm going to do inside this box. As long as it's smooth to the touch, we're good. It's got one little tool mark there that I can get rid of. I got the bottom nicely. I'm not sure if I explained that at all, but it's the best I can explain it. Just drink me coffee while I'm doing this. Okay, I think that. Oh yeah, that got it. Lovely jubbly. That got it. I've got to get my compressor set up. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take that chuck off and leave the box inside it for now. Is everything okay with the feed? Just want to make sure that I'm still going out on the airwaves. I have done lives before where I've been chatting away to myself and I didn't know that it wasn't live. Right, I'm putting that over here. When am I putting it? I'll just swap it with this chuck because I'm going to use this other chuck here. This is chuck berry. There for now. Now, I have a small block of wood here that I already have centered. Pop that down there. Live centering. Yeah, I'll WhatsApp you, Nick, and I'll explain it to you. I'll do a little video for you because it is hard to explain, but it is at 90 degrees. The two edges are at 90 degrees to each other. Now, because I twisted this headstock, I'm reset in the center. Making sure that I'm back on center again. That's something that I'm getting used to doing. I'll throw that block on the floor. Turn those off, it's a bit bright. I'm just going to put this block in and I'm going to round it off very quickly. Tighten that. We'll go over to the overhead camera. Oh, shut the Fadukin live feed off there. Not sure what's occurring with this camera. It's being a poo bomb. Ooh, got a headache yet, everybody? Okay, that's better. All right. Who was that? Eva. Yes. Nor can I, to be honest with you. I am a very, very lucky man. I'm extremely happy with this lathe. I'm extremely happy with the setup that I have now. I'm in a much better place in my head to have this place to come to, because if I'm not necessarily in the mood for turning, then I can go up to the little man cave part and just chill there and watch videos and stuff. It's a my own little space. Okay, so we're just going to round this off very quickly. One-inch roughing gouge. I can put the speed up quite high on this. There we go, we're around there now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to get it so we can put it into the other chuck that I have. Find out. I might have to turn down the end so that we do the same with this chuck as we did with the other one and put it into the center of the jaws rather than the outer. Depends on what size we are. Oh, we're good. We should be able to hold that with the chuck as it is, which is handy pandy. So I'm going to put that into the chuck now, and we're going to form a little ring. Now this chuck has an extension on it, so it can be a bit vibratey. It's not too bad, but it can be a little bit vibratey. That is a woodturner's technical term, vibratey. There you go, look, it's got an extension on it, adapter. Bit of a pain in the hole, but it's fine, it works. This is my old chuck. It works off of bars and stuffs. Slide me tailstock up just so I know I'm in center, push it in. Hopefully we're going to be able to tighten this up. Maybe not. I might have to do what I said. I thought, no, that's not going to hold. I thought it was just in. Let's turn it around. Maybe this side's a bit thicker. No, not going to get it. All right. Bear with me, folks. Taking the chuck off again. Just as well I'm not professional, I'd look stupid now. There is a bonus to not being a professional. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to reduce the size right down, and we're going to make it so that the inside of the jaws will hold it. Which is better. Oh, sugar jam doodles. I keep doing that, forgetting to take the lock off. And bring that down to about that size. Make sure that we've got a good hold on it. A bit of an undercut. We've got enough that we can put a good bit in there. Actually, just want to make sure that we've got a good hold. There we go. Now the chuck will hold that. Tools away while I'm at it. That's another thing that I'm trying to get into habit of doing, is putting my tools away as I work. I can be a very messy worker. I'm trying to change that. That will now hold on the inside jaws. Night night Yappy. Hello Rob. Again, centering this up. Push it into the chuck. And then use my bars to tighten up. Nice and tight. There we go. We got there in the end. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right, cool. So now, first things first is get out of the chuck. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut a mortise in here, and we're going to get it to fit nicely on the top of the box. I think this is going to be a nice little addition, this little ring, to be honest with you. See if I can work without turning the lathe and then spinning the head. And then I can put the camera over hither, like dither. Work. Go. All right. So same again. I'm going to just use my quarter skew, and we're going to sneak up on this and get a nice tight fit, because this is going to be glued. And I've got plenty of material, if I do make a mistake, to cut it back and go again, but we'll try and do it first time. So on my way home from work tomorrow, I should be buying a new headset so that I can hear Rihanna, because this is not the ideal setup. It's a bit tense. Okay, we'll stop there and see how close we are. Not close at all yet, but I can get a rough idea. Okay, cool. I love this little 1/4 inch skew. It's one of the tools that I use so much. It's a universal, very universal tool. Okay. You could use calipers and kind of mark roughly where you are, but to be honest with you, you're going to end up going backwards and forwards with it anyway to get a nice tight fit, so you as well just get it close and then stop and start. It's a bit tedious, but it's worth it in the end to get it to be a nice tight fit, because you don't want any gaps when you're looking at the side of the box. And the thing is with this skew is you can take the tiniest little shave off. Almost there. It's very strange not hearing the owner talking to me as much, because it feels like I'm talking to myself here. I might well be talking to myself, to be honest with you. I know this is tedious going backwards and forwards, but it is important to get this tight. Oh. All right, we're there. Cool. There you go. That will hold there. It's a lot of weight to hold, but it is there. So now I've just got to hollow that now. Down a little bit. Past the width of the skew. Doesn't matter if we go any further, because we'll just be cutting the ring off and gluing it on. There we go. I can go a little bit more. All right, let's see if that fits on. Lovely jubbly. Nice tight fit. Awesome. Okay, now I'm going to just clean up that front edge so that we have a good flat surface, and I'm going to use my square scraper again for that. Got the handle high so that the cutter is at a slight angle. And what I'm doing is I'm going to taper it inwards slightly so the outer part has a nice tight joint. See how that looks now. Excellent. All right, that's perfect. Lovely jubbly. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to part that off just back here, glue it onto my box, and then we're going to put my box back on, and then we can decide on the length that we need then. I'm cutting it back further than I've hollowed, just to be sure, Now this isn't a diamond parting tool, it's just a regular parting tool, so you have to make a little bit of wiggle room, otherwise it will bind. With the diamond parting tool, it's tapered, so you don't really have to worry about. There we go. Great job. So we can take this chuck off now. Chuck berry is finished with. Put him up there, out the way. We'll put our box on here now, like so. I'm going to unscrew my spindle lock. Now that fits on there. Lovely jubbly, nice and tight. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to glue that on, and then we're going to bring it down to the right size on the outside, and then we've got to work out how much to take down. And obviously we'll have to hollow in here and then make another mortise on this side for the lid to pop on. It's all very technical. Am I still live? Can I get confirmation that I'm live, please? I have to wait a while because there's a delay. Yay! Confirmation has been made. So I'm just going to use a little bit of thin super glue for this because it's quick. Sure we're on there all the way, just like that. Cool. All right. Now we'll clean up the outside. As long as it's down to the same size as the box. Don't have to worry about the chamfer because that's already done on the lid so that it's tight in the sphere. So now we're just going to clean this up. I think as good as any, we're going to go with the roughing gouge. Just going to sneak up on it, nice and gentle. Get it close enough, and the rest we can get with sandpaper. There we go, that's good. Make a hole for that roughing gouge bigger in my wrap because it's a little bit tight. Alright, so we're just going to give that a quick sand, nothing major, just to get it near. The outside of the box hasn't been sanded yet properly, so I just want to get it so that they're flush. Like I said, this bit's not important, but it's a little bit loose because it's not the part that clicks into the sphere. That's good. We've got a nice joint there. Now, in theory, I should just be able to go the width of the parting tool from the back of this and it should be right. In theory. Now my theories have been wrong in the past. Trouble is, I can't remember which parting tool I used. Someone might have to go back to the beginning and let me know what parting tool I used to part that off, because I never made note. I don't know how thick the difference in thickness is. Yeah, there's quite a difference in the width of the parting tools, so I can't remember which one I used. Was it the diamond or was it the regular? Right, I'm going to have to take the box out of the chuck and I'm going to have to check it in the sphere. It's the only thing to do. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. I think it was the wider one that I used. Oh, diamond. Okay. Ooh, thank you. just as well. I would have cut too much off. Too much enough. Just want to make sure that that is spinning straight. It is. All right. Let's do this then. We're going to cut it the width of the parting tool, so it's just as my pencil. Just there. Now this should there we go. Now if I did that right, my lid should just pop into that. Just going to clean up that edge a little bit. Look at that. And that fits on there perfect. I'm going to take that off again. Let's see, does that fit into the sphere? It's only bang on. There you go. All fits in there perfect. So now I know I can sand all that up, and I can clean the bottom of the lid just by hand because I'm not going to be able to hold it. I could do a hot glue way of holding it, but I'm just going to, there you go. And the lid fits on there nice. You can just pop. So I've just got to clean that up a little bit, clean the bottom of the lid, and we're good. That's our box. Cool. All right. I'm just going to clean the little fuzzies off by hand. The bottom of this. Is there any questions, folks? Does anybody have any questions while I'm just sanding this, the bottom of this box, cleaning it up, getting the fuzzies from the parting tool? The trick is not seeing the outside. I only bloody did it, didn't I? I was nervous about that bit, I'm not going to lie, because history does show that I've messed up before. Now, I'm not going to mess about too much with this now, because I can finish this off the live. I don't want to waste the time just doing sanding. So I can clean the bottom of that lid up. There's just a little bit of glue that I've just got a hand sand off of there. I can finish sanding that box, but that popped in there nicely. And yes. All right, cool. That is the sphere done did. Awesome. Right, let's do a stand quickly. Let me just check the time. Yeah, well, we can start this. We can start the sand. Cool. Right. I have a bit of beach here that we're going to do the stand on. Now I've got a bit of a funky idea with this, so you have to bear with me, folks. It's going to be a bit of a rough ride. I'm not even going to try and explain what I'm doing. You're just going to have to watch because I can't say it in words, but I want to make kind of a hollowed out bowl to hold the sphere, and then a step. Look, let's just get in there and do it, shall we? I think, right. I'm going to put this in here just so that I can get my reference marks. There's going to be some obviously there's going to be some off-centered stuff going on here. It's going to be a wild ride, people. Already got my centers on this. All right. Cool. So I have put that on there just so that I can work out my exact opposite points. So I'm using the gap in the chuck. You've seen me do this before, but those of you that are new, in between the two jaws, and I'm going to just reference a line down the center like that. Hi, Wayne. Yeah, it wouldn't be me if I was doing simple, Wayne, you know that. And then we're going to flip that right round. So that's underneath, and we're going to go to the top, and we're going to do another reference line there. So we're splitting that cylinder in half, in theory. It will make sense in a second, folks. Now we're going to take it back out the chuck. Take the chuck off. And this is where it gets sketchy, folks. Put it down there. I want a drive that's going to have a good hold. Where will I go? Let me just eye up the size of my sphere. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work, folks. It's just something I've got in my head. And if it works, I think it will kind of look cool. If not, sure, you've had a little bit of entertainment for the evening. Right, we're going to go about there. I'm going to put it between centers just for now, just so I can get my pencil line. This is how my head works, folks. I'll be in the workshop and I talk to myself. There we go. And now we go to sketch. I'm going to use my live center to make puncture holes. One that side where the two lines cross, and one that side where the two lines cross. And we're going in this way between centers. Just like that. The reason why I've put it like that is because now I want to try and get a bit of a tenon in there so that I can put it in a chuck. Turn my speed right down. Be about right there. Now so far it's been small stuff. Now it's time to put the old shield on. Not that this shield would protect much if that decides to come off. This is cool because you'll see a sphere in the centre of that. That's spinning. Well, I can anyway, I'm not sure if you can. Alright, angle of approach for this is I'm going to come in with my gouge at the side, I think. Actually, do you know what? I think I'm going to go the other side. It'd be easier to attack it from that side. And then that way I can put the other camera on and you can see what I'm at. Everybody now at this stage is going, what the feck is he at? There we go. Spindle gouge. Come in here then. Change the camera for you folks, so you can have the real sketchy angle. I'll zoom out a little bit for you. Probably see the sphere better from the side angle there. Look, see the sphere? It's kind of cool looking. Okay, I'm going to come in here. Basically, the best way I can describe this is that I'm going in with a kind of V-cut into the side. The other camera's picking up. And I'm trying to form a bit of a tenon and make room so that my chuck can get in there. Now, it works in my head, this. All right, so yeah, okay. Need to go deeper. And my tool rest is just a little bit too low. I'm not quite getting on the cutting line. That's better. Instantly better. Okay. Cool. We are forming our tenon. Just want to make sure that I get the right size tenon. It's going to be about that big. Yeah, we can go in a bit. I don't look at wood the same anymore, or shape. My head is just minced with different approaches to the wood to get a different shape or style. All right, we've almost got our tenon there. Cut it a little bit more. So I'm starting with my tool pretty much straight up. Let me change the camera to the top so you can see how I'm approaching this. Come on, stupid mouse. Okay, and I'll zoom in. Let me turn that off so I'm not leaning over it. Just so that you can see the way I approach this. So I'm coming in pretty much straight in. So my flute is directly up. And what I'm doing is I'm going to go in, start it cutting, and then I'm twisting the tool as I work my way deeper into the piece. Now you're going to get some vibration because there's a lot of angles and edges that we're cutting against. It's not your traditional approach to cutting a piece of wood. And then I'm coming in the other way and twisting my tool right in. Near enough 90 degrees. You can clean that edge up then by coming in here. Pretty much at the limit of my tool there now. I might have to just clean the rest of that up with the parting tool, but I think we're going to have enough there. I'm just going to clean up in there so that our chuck will fit in there, that our jaws can get in there, and I'm going to do that with a parting tool now. Go. And I'm just going to make enough room for the chuck jaws. Now all this might be completely pointless, but hey ho. If you don't try, you won't know. Try and get a little bit of a taper on that. Okay, I think we should get our chuck on that now. Let us see. We've still got our centres, so it doesn't matter about taking it off the lathe and trying it in the chuck. Come with me. Yay, that fits in there lovely. Okay, cool. Time to put the chuck on. Obviously, none of you are following what I'm doing because I don't even have a clue what I'm doing. It's an idea. It's a concept. It's a different way of doing something. So we're learning together. Okay. Again, I'm going to bring my tailstock up, get it in the center mark that we had originally, push it into my chuck. And then we're going to orientate the piece like this. A little bit more safer than between centers for the next part that I'm going to be doing. Any questions, folks? Have you ever seen something like that done like that before? Now I'm taking this away, getting it out of my way. I'm going to take my live center out because that really hurts. Really hurts your elbow. It's very sharpy. Back up here so I can find it. Alright, now we're coming back to this side. Still got a tenor on the other end. That'll make sense later on. Hopefully. Bring this up to about there. And now we're going to start making this into a bowl, really, in theory. Big enough for the sphere to sit into, like a spoon. Best way to describe it. Parting tool back, so looking for it again. Alrighty. Start with my spindle gouge and go from there. There we go. I should change the camera. Don't worry, folks. Don't panic. There's that sphere again. That's where it comes in handy. I can see that sphere, and I'm going to be basically cutting a convex shape the size of that sphere. It's roughly the same size as the sphere that I've made, but it gives me a guide reference. So I'm going to start scooping this out like a bowl. Probably put a little bit more speed on that. It sounds like a helicopter. Now when it comes to a point where I'm going to be scooping it and making it yeah, I mean, you could use a bowl gouge to do this either. It's, you know, it's just like turning a banana bowl. Do you know? You could use a bowl gouge, spindle gouge, it doesn't matter. They all cut the same. You've just got to be aware of what tool you're using, but they all work. I'm actually going to be using my hollower in a second because I've got to make like a bowl shape, like a scoop shape. You know me, Eva. I'll use whichever tool works for me. I'm not one for, oh, you shouldn't be using that tool because I'll use whatever tool works for me. Let me see if I can get some light on there for you, folks. That might help. Is that a bit better? Yes, that's true. Yeah, no. I would never use a roughing gouge. A spindle roughing gouge The clue is in the name. Drop there. I am absolutely loving the new lathe. I'm like a pig in shite. So we're just making a bowl basically. I'm going to get my Hope hollower now. This is a 6mm Simon Hope hollower. It's a cocked hollower. Blade's getting a bit shook now, but it still does the job. It is carbide, but it's like a cupped carbide. Lovely tool. I'm going to start hawking this out now. It's the only time I tend to use carbide of any kind is when I'm hollowing out. I like me traditional tools, but this, for this orientation, this tool is absolutely fantastic. There we go. Now I could use my other gouge with the lesser bevel on it, but I've got this tool, so I'm just going to hold the sphere up to see how close we're getting. I've still got a lot to go, but I just want to make sure. Okay. Still a bit to go. Now I'll be doing the rough stuff with this, and then we'll tidy it up with the gouges. I'm going to have to move this tailstock out the way. I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, my my camera stand is made of plastic. It's not magnetic. Now the good thing about having a tenon on the other side is that I still have a little bit of depth to play with. Now I should be good because of what I'm doing. I want it to just, on this sphere, just to sit in here. But I do want to make it scoop shape. So I'm doing like an undercut. An inside out sphere basically. Alright, I'm just going to give myself a pencil line just to go by. It's just a rough marker just inside the width of my sphere. I'll make that dark enough. It should, when it's spinning, look like a circle. Always checking that you've got room before you turn the lathe on. Yeah, I can just about see that circle. I'm just going to cup out a little bit more with the hollower. Now I'm going to go back to my gouge and I'm going to get this edge for a cleaner cut. just in that far. See where we are now with the sphere. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Anyone bored yet? You'll either be bored or fascinated with my lives. Now you are turning airwood there, so you have to be a little bit cautious. A little bit more. Once we've got it big enough for the sphere to go into the front rim, Leona's bored. Sorry, Leona. There we go, that fits in there nicely. Okay, so now we've got to get a little bit more depth. And we can do that with the hollower. I just had a thought. Back in 1 second, folks. Just going up into my boudoir. If this works, Leona's going to kill me. She'll kill me if this works. But if it does work, at least we'll know the next time. I'm doing this for Leona, so to relieve her boredom. One second, folks. Sorry, now I'm just trying something. Oh, Leona, could you try this headset? Can you hear me? Cool. Does it sound better? Yay! I just realised I had a headset up the top that I got for doing a live the other day, like a tutorial thing, and I didn't realise it would work in my phone. All right, we're back to how we should be now. Sorry, Leona. Poor Leona was very, very bored. Cool. Oh, that's fixed that problem. Just pull this wire out the way so it doesn't get dangerous. All right, so now Leona can talk to me directly with all comments and things. So sorry about that. You know, I am a jackass. and everything. Oh look, that's a nice tight fit for my sphere. It's not how I want it though. I want to go in a bit deeper. Right, depth gauge. Depth gauge. I don't want to go any. Go to there. So Leona's just asked if I'm cutting this log in half eventually. No, this is going to be all part of the stand. It's going to be a raised stand, hopefully. But all right, we've still got loads to play with. Loads to play with. Good. So I can get the depth that I want. There we go. I do like a tight fit. Doesn't every wood turner? Have we still got people watching? Oh, so there's a bonus. Ooh, I'm not sure. Leona can research that for you. Leona likes a bit of research. No, it was the tokens, apparently. Meh, meh. The witch? I'm not sure. I've never heard of tight fit, to be honest with you. All I know is that my sphere is a tight fit. Right, I've got to take a little bit more off the front edge again now that we've gone deeper. The idea is, hopefully, that this will go in and sit down like on this little cup here. So I've got to cut it out a little bit more. Logs with your spalted birch. Suits you, ma'am. Sounds good. How's the house coming on, Eva? Been very quiet these days. Hope you're okay. Busy renovating. My daughter got some good news there the other day. She got approved for a mortgage. So she can finish building her house. Alright, so I'm trying to get right to the front of that now. So I'm looking down through the airwood and I'm forming the shape that I want. I'll show you from the camera on top what I'm talking about. You'll be able to see the tool through, maybe if you can. Oh, Jesus. Let me put it back on that other one. Just feck off, you fecking feck. Turn this lathe off. I'm going to move this camera along because it's getting on my dingles. Right on my dingles, I tell you. Right on me dingles. Yeah. What's occurring? What's occurring with this situation? Sorry, folks, this isn't very. And the only reason why I'm putting this camera on is I want folks to see the tool going, oh, that should work. I want you to see what I'm seeing. So you can see the tool through the airwood so that I can form my profile without actually leaning over the lathe and looking in the front. Coming right out to the front now. Look at that now. Yes, that's getting where I want it to get. Use my spindle gouge again just to get that very front edge. Okay. Gently does it. Okay, cool. Let's see how the sphere sits in there now, if it does at all. Ah, yes. A little bit more depth and we are good. Get this wire out of my face. There we go. Okay. Quick check on the old depth to doodah. Still got a good bit I can go with the depth, so we're all looking on track to where I want to get. I know it's not making any sense to you guys, but in my head, I'm happy. hey, even if it doesn't work, at least you've seen a different way of putting a piece of wood on the lathe and turning it. Oh, get it. Do I still have more depth? Do just enough depth, I think, to do what I need to do. Alrighty. In my head, this looks really cool, but you know, most of the time when stuff looks cool in my head, it looks totally crap when it's done. Maybe. Leona just said she thinks it might take the look away from the sphere. But the good thing about this is that if it doesn't look right, at least I tried. And I can do a different stand. But like I said, I wouldn't know unless I tried. And there's still a lot of wood to be turned away from this. Okay, that is sitting in there. Just keeping an eye on my depths. And I still got a little bit more I can go. I think that's as far as I dare go with depth. I think that's going to work for what I want to do. Yes, yes, Rob. I saw the stand. It's very cool. I just, you know me, Rob. I, I find it very hard to copy somebody else's work, even though I've copied the sphere, I suppose. Hi, Chris. So we've got the depth. It's just a matter of shape now, so that it sits in. All right, I like that. That's kind of where I was heading. All right, cool. Right. Now we'll orientate it a different way. We'll put it in like a spindle and see what fandangle shape we can make it. Nice. Now I can bring my tailstock up again now for safety. there. That there. Bring this, that in there. Slide that up there. That in there. Loosen that. All right. Let's see if this stupid idea works. Like I said, it looks cool in the head, but I don't know, Staff. We'll see. I don't even trust myself sometimes. I'm thinking that most of the back will be turned away, and it's going to show more of the sphere. Oh, sorry, most of the front will be turned away, and it'll just leave the back part, but the sphere will still be sitting on here. So I'm going to turn most of this away. Looks like a Guinness can with a hole being shot in the side of it at the moment. Cool how that looks like a solid line in the middle. Yeah, so I'm turning the majority of this away. It's just a matter of finding the shape that I want now. And if that shape doesn't appear, it'll make an odd shaped piece of firewood. As I come across there, I'm cutting a lot of air. And then back into the solid. Okay, yeah, so this is reducing down how I want to. Should start taking some of this away then. Don't want to take too much of that away because I'll blow out the back. Is anybody thinking, what the feck is he doing? I know Leona is. I can nearly hear her silence. Treat air wood just the same as you do with solid wood. You still pretend that there's something for your bevel to ride against. Try and keep a nice steady hand. Use your body. I've got my elbow in at my waist, giving me support, and I'm just leaning forward. Obviously we're not doing finishing cuts here. Okay, still got thickness there, which is good. Richard, the off-center bit is going to come a little bit later on. But yes, I agree. I think I'm confident that I've got enough thickness. See, I've took the top of that away now. And my idea is that this is going to curve around now. That's where the off-centered part is coming. So I wanted to clean this away. Then we're going to put it off-center and we're going to start cutting this arc round here. So we're going to follow the arc of that around, and then we're going to do some kind of fancy here. And the idea is that when the stand is there, that the ball just rests down on top of it. That's where it is in my head. It does look like a banana. Of course it does. Now I've got to start cutting in here more now. A lot of stopping and starting, I know. That's just the way it is. Got to be aware that I've got more of an overhang here off the tool rest than I have back here. That's because I've got my big tool rest in there. I've got a small one, but the post is quite short on it, so I've got to buy a shorter tool rest. Okay, that's curving in there nicely. It's getting the shape that I want. So far, it's looking how it looks in my head. Okay. A bit more. I'm leaving that there. We could do something on the top of there with that. We'll see. That's a bonus bit. Oh, that temperature's come right down now. You can feel it in the air. Lovely. That's what I want. Ooh, baby, that's what I like. Just want to get my tool in here and make sure that when I'm cutting here, I won't actually have to put that off center to get that bit, I don't think. Let's just take some of that away and see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Just want to clean that piece there, and then we can, yeah. Just cleaning this edge up. Do you see where it was bumpy here? Once we've cleaned that edge up and we've got a nice even curve coming around here, then I can put me off center right over here and start shaping the back of that. But one little bump there I want to just get rid of, and then we're good. Don't take too much away because it won't hold the sphere. So, there we go. Cool. Maybe a little bit more. Set the sphere in there and see what it. No, I think we're okay there actually. See if I can clean those cuts up there with my other gouge. Do a bit of a shear scrape coming back the other way. Just trying to get rid of some of the tool marks with a nice gentle scrape. And that's as much as I dare. I'll get the rest with sandpaper. That's cleaned it up a little bit nicer now. All right, let's change orientation. Have we still got people there? I can finish the live and continue with this off camera if people are bored. Okay, cool. Okay. You bunch of lunatics. Okay. So I'm bringing my tailstock up again, just so that I can work out where my center line is, so that I'm running even but not even, if you know what I mean. So I'm still in line with my bed, but off center the other way. Taking it to the maximum that I can. That's cool. Now, I'm just holding in there on the chuck there now, so I'm going to bring my speed down. And tail stock in as far as I can. Great job. Well, you know, I'm always aware that you know, people have got to sleep a lot more than I generally do. Okay, so I'm going to put a pencil mark as a reference of where I'm starting to cut. Nice big heavy pencil mark. Don't want too much speed because it could flip it out of the chuck. And I'm just going to do very light cuts. Put a couple of cuts into it and see if we're in the right orientation, and we are. That's good, that should work. And we're just drawing a picture with our gouge. And try and draw the picture that you have in mind. Now, that, yeah, so Leona just said that it's looking like one of the egg chairs that you can get in the garden, and that is kind of the concept that I had in my head. Like a little cradle for the sphere, and then a stand to the bottom of it. It's different anyway, and like I said, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least I've fed my craving of whether it would look cool or not. And I like to be different. I don't like to just... Everyone can copy. Everyone can copy and play it safe, I suppose, that you know what something looks like, so you have an end game, an end goal. Whereas I like to kind of experiment and try different ideas. And come up with a new idea. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least I can go away and say, well, I tried that, and now I know that doesn't work. Sometimes while you're doing that process, you come up with other ideas that you can work on. It'll be all right on the night, Staff. It'll be all right on the night. I'm just going to sharpen my gouge. Bear with. Oh, it feels like it's about minus 1 million now. I've got my heater on, but there is a limit to what my little heater can do. I think it's like minus 2 out there at the moment, something like that. So, you know, it's a big workshop for a little heater to keep up. A banana throne, yeah, exactly, Mike. Keeping with the theme of the fork and banana. Hi, Adam. Yes, still, you know me, Adam. No such thing as a quick live. Do you know what? You tend to find that the sharpening system works a lot better if you plug it in. Okay. Trying to clean up where I've got a little bit of chip out there at the bottom. Let's come back here a bit more. So I've got a little breakout there, which is a little bit annoying. Will I get away with turning that out? That is dipped in there. But I think that is important. Let's see. Oh, let's take it away. I mean, I'm not going to be able to repair it, so. Yeah, I could texture it. I just want to, I might just take that whole bottom piece away because I have got this here. That's annoying. I don't know actually what happened there, whether I caught it with my tool or what, but we're going to get rid of it now anyway, that bit. Oh, nice hot whiskey. Suits you, sir. could have fecked this up, to be honest with you. Just trying to work out if I take that front edge off. Well, that's all I can do now at this stage. Clean this up here. Get rid of it altogether from back there and see what we can do. Sorry about all the stopping and starting, guys. I'd say it's probably quite frustrating, but I don't want to feck it up any more than I already have. There we go. Alright, we might get away with that. Just clean this up now. Some more run up here. Go right in there, try and get into that corner. Ever so delicate. Now I'll be able to sand that little bit there off. Alright, well let's go with that. I could probably shape this with a bit of sandpaper. I don't think it's too horrible anyway. It's not quite what I wanted. I wanted this to be like a proper bucket seat sitting there, but I think we'll be alright. I can sand and shape that around. Right, let's get a bit of a thing going down here. Has everybody kind of seen my concept? I know it's not exactly what I wanted, just because of a little faux pas. It's the first time I've done it, you know, so I think it's certainly different. Now, I want to orientate it so that sphere is sitting on there like that. Let's put that back straight in and see how it sits. A little bit of sanding to do there for that to sit in there, but I think we're good. Right. That transition there now will go straight. I'll tighten that up. I didn't. That could have been an absolute disaster. Right, let's come in here just with a little cut, see where we're going. Yeah, that is cool. Right, all right, so let's go right down here now. Now in my head I had quite a thin stem coming up to this. Awesome, yeah. That is cool. A little bit more. So the two blend into each other at the back. So that's it. And now we'll just go with getting rid of some of this bulk. He's still there, Leona. Oh, that's okay. So what does everybody think? And I mean an honest opinion. If you don't like it, I'd rather you're honest. That was Eva said that, was it? Thanks, Eva. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. It's all about trying concepts and seeing does it work. I think it would have looked a lot better had I got the kind of chair shape that I was looking for. Now, I don't want to go too thin with that. Because I've got to do something with the top part now. Bring the tail stop back up for a little bit of moral support. Thanks, Steph. Unique and fascinating is what I like. That was Debbie. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Steve. So we'll, before we go too thin down at the base, we're going to do maybe like a little finial of some kind here. Who said that, sorry? Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, it is very different. It's down to personal taste as well. Trying to get a bit of a pear drop at the top there. There we go. Get the rest with sandpaper there, because we have got a little bit of a wobble on that now, but we can get the rest of the sandpaper, clean that up. Just wanted to do that before we went too thin down here. Have a look. Cool. All right. I think I'm going to come in close on that and try and get a cut in the skew. Let's try and come in here. Let's try and clean up that edge. Have a look to see what that does. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. Try and get back in the off-center orientation to clean that up, I think. Do 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 do. And again, I can reference whereabouts that was by dropping it down, keeping it in the center. And I can always go back to where I was then. Hopefully. I need to go more. Most disappointing with the lack of snow today. I was hoping for a snow day tomorrow. Oh well. Life's a bitch. Okay, that should undercut in there now. Give it a go anyway. Bring my tourist in further. I'm just trying to tidy this top cut here and get a little bit of a feature where the two rings meet up. Now I could completely faff it up here. Right. Here's my bigger skew link. Baby steps to make sure I'm going where I want to go. Okay, cool. No, it's okay. I know how you like to tippity tap. Exactly. Yep, that's cool. Let's put a little feature ring in there and tidying up at the same time. Look here a bit more. Kebab? Is he on the kebab? Oh yeah, he was on the beer, wasn't he? It's tough being an Adam. Yay. Let's tidy that top bit up there now, and let's put a little bit of an added feature in there. Cool. I wasn't happy with that transition at the top. I am now. Let's get this sumbitch finished now. Using the rocking gouge just to get some of that bulk away. I don't want a huge base at the bottom out of proportion. Now what I do want to do is I want to come in here Probably to about there. And if I can, just get the tip of my gouge just in there. Do a little relief cut to make it look as if that's kind of coming out of there like a flower. Just like that. That's it. And come back down here then. Yeah. It's as thin as I'm going down there because we're starting to get a wobble on. Oopsie! And that was the end of that. Ah, that's a shame. The wobble was just too much for it. And it would have looked good too. Dang it. I wonder will I get glue on it, but I hate gluing anything because it's a failure in my mind. I know what happened. Let me explain what happened there, folks. Is because this is off center, you got more bulk this side than you have this side. What was happening is it was causing it to do this. What I should have done, hindsight is a great thing, is I should have put my cupped live center, which I have there. I have a cupped live center. I should have put this cupped live center in. I should have put it over the top there, supported it, and done that. But look, you live and learn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to part that off. I'll glue it so that you can see what it would have looked like. I want to see what it would have looked like when it was standing up. So I'm just going to part that base off, and we'll glue it just quickly, so we can see what it looks like. But look, you win some, you lose some. And what you've got to do is put it down to a learning curve. Now let me just glue that on. Just also going to cut that bit off there and give it a feeder. Throw it over there. Is everybody sad? Don't say that, Mike. I'm one of these people that would start over. And Leona would be like, "No, I want my bed." I'm not starting over now. I'll take. I've got work tomorrow. I'm just gluing this so that you can get the concept that I had in mind. Get the camera and you can look at that. Look at me. I'm helpless as a kitten in a tree. Uh-oh. Quick, battery's going to die. Plug it in, plug it in. There we go. Whew, good save, Steve. Sorry, folks, I'm just setting the camera up so you can get the full effect of my disaster. Right, Tommy, let me just show you this before you bugger off. There you go. That's what it would have looked like. You get the idea, and I will turn another one and finish it properly. I won't give up on that idea because I think that idea definitely has potential. Not sure if it's showing up on the live yet. Oh yeah, it's different. That's what I wanted to do, and it does look like I had in my head, except obviously this here would have been more seat-like at the bottom. But at least I know what to do and what not to do the next time. I know. Yeah, Leonie just said I could have it just so that the whole thing is cut. But I wanted a lot of the sphere to be seen. That was the. I didn't want the sphere is the main focal point, but I just wanted it to. You can orientate that how you. I could even maybe make a bigger chair, use a bigger spindle, and that way I'll have more room to play with. But you get the idea, folks. It kind of worked. At least I got the sphere right. Anyway, that was the main part of it. I lost my chat for some reason. Yeah, I agree, Richard. I think maybe a thicker, wider blank for sure, definitely. But the concept's there anyway, and I think it will. I think I will eventually get what I want. I was so near, yet so far. There you go, folks. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining in and being part of the chat. Very, very much appreciated. I'll put my... I'm just going to show you how my... So, yeah, so what you do with this is, you lean it forward like that, kick that leg, bring that over here like this, put that there like that, and go like that. Just like that. And that folds away out of my way. Isn't that cool? Now I can sweep up without my tools being in the way. Right, I'm going to say goodnight, folks. Thank you very much, Leona, for being my lovely earworm. It's always very much appreciated. Who said that? Sorry? Joe. You're very welcome, Joe. I do a live when I feel like it, basically. It's not a regular thing. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just delighted that my sphere and the little box, I've just got to do a little bit of sanding on the box and finish it. But that little little box turned out really well. I'm very happy with that. Yay! All right, well, thank you very much. I'm going to say good night, and I shall see you again. If you're not on TikTok, don't worry about it. But if you're on TikTok, if you go and give me a follow, if I get to 1,000 followers on TikTok, then I can go live on TikTok. And the good thing about TikTok lives is that you can play music in the background. It's more of a chill, relax kind of vibe as well. So it'd be nice if I could do the occasional live on TikTok as well. So get over there and give me some follows. That'd be great. All right. Thank you, Leona. Thank you, everybody else. I shall see you all again soon. I've got an idea for a video as well, so I'm going to do a video probably over the weekend or early next week sometime. Until then, I'll see you all again. And what are we? What are we, Leona? Can you remember what we are? Forking knackered? Well, yeah, there is that. We're also forking bananas! A lot of us, we're all forking bananas. Bye! Yes, end. Bye!